So, Blondie's gonna report the fundamentalist part of this church. He's gonna spin this story. His name's Danielle Matt McGinnis. Yeah, Danielle Matt McGinnis. After he kidnapped Nancy Guthrie, he's gonna go file a complaint down at the court in Arizona. He's gonna go against the fundies of his religion. He's gonna spin a beautiful story about being the victim of his disgusting cult. And then he's going to make everybody sign NDAs so that they can't talk about what the church did to them. Because that's important that you defend the disgusting people in this church. That's what's important. And at some point, I'm supposed to stop him. Yeah, he's supposed to get my glory by getting rid of the human trafficking and doing all the good things. But Anal Eating Mummy God was like, well, if you ever want to, get back your power or whatever, and you can't go to court, and we're going to make you do stupid things like, calling a bomb threat and punch an officer. And because you have a learning disability, you can't learn pro se. And everything. Here's the solution. You just give me a lawyer. Hey, look, give him to me under the threat of death. But nobody is going to help me. And then at the end of it, the guy that's the head of the fundy people, he's going to kill and eat my brains when he becomes the new president of the current church. After I completely wreck Blondie's plan. And you might go, Bobby, does your hatred really for Blondie really take it this far? And the only thing that goes into my head is Anal Eating Mummy God once told me, stop saying do the right thing. He's like, never say it ever again. He goes, make the right thing appealing to people. Make the right thing appealing to people. When you say do the right thing, the only thing you make people feel is hatred for you. That is why they resist you. That is why they betray you and everything. That is why they try to make you look like a fool. That is why they act out spitefully against you. You come off as self-righteous. You come off as somebody that's like, I'm going to do the right thing because it's the right thing. And all these things. And during this conversation with Anal Eating Mummy God, where he was explaining to me everything I'm going to do, and he said, ultimately, Bobby, you're going to become the bad guy. You're going to become the bad guy because you're scared. You're going to become the bad guy because you're hateful. You're going to become the bad guy because you're vengeful. And you're going to become the bad guy because we're right about everything about you. And to Anal Eating Mummy God, I say, if I stumbled upon a person that was hurt like that, and this is before I became mentally ill, I would have helped them. And he said, we would have killed you if you did that. And I said I would have helped them. The same way I helped Witchy Poo. The same way I tried to help the Belly Girl. The same way I tried to help all those people. You see, the problem is, in this world, there's not enough of me. Because I would have just helped anyways. But this is what happens when you live in a world where bastards go around threatening people, telling them, I'll kill you if you take us to court. I'll kill you if you do this. I have to kill you. This is my violent, stupid cult. Here's what you do with your violent, stupid cult. You just call him and go, I failed. He's going to court and we're going to lose everything. Thank you. Problem solved. But I guess this is the way things has to be. I don't really see. And I remember Anal Eating Mummy God was like, at one point he made this very surreptitious comment explaining that if I just let Blondie have his way and I don't stop him, that I will get to do something good and amazing, and I'll get fame and popularity and people will like me. And I was like, but it's not going to be as good as turning in your filthy, disgusting human trafficking ring, is it? And he went quiet, and he was like, I know you want the complete destruction of our church, and you want to kill everybody. And I said, I want to watch him die slowly. I have never in all my life believed that as a person that just was autistically programmed to be moderately retarded and just believe that if everybody would just do the right thing that we could fix all the problems in the world. And then I come across the church that literally preaches the exact opposite. Be disgusting, be evil, be violent, threaten to kill people, rape them, shoot them, rape babies, light them on fire, torture them to death, kill them and eat their brains if they make you feel bad. He made me feel a certain way. I'm going to kill him and eat his brains. It's good. Also, we have a group of women in the church and our men don't have powers. They don't have psychic powers because God decided that you shouldn't have psychic powers because you can't handle them because he knew what you would do with them. You would open an entirely disgusting fucking cult that goes around murdering people, raping babies and raping people, killing people, and then screaming you're the victims in it. That's why he didn't give you psychic powers. That's why you shouldn't be killing women and eating their brains to get psychic powers, you disgusting piece of shit. Okay? That's what I say about that. And that doesn't matter. Because the fact of the matter is I have nothing in this world. These people have successfully taken everything from me. And that's just something I need to accept. Yeah. And we're not going to continue any further than that statement. I think Blondie does need this humiliation, because it's the same humiliation he dealt me. By continuously and infinitely poisoning me with heavy metals, he destroyed my greatness. And with my greatness came the cost of 100 people getting killed. Came people being forced back into human trafficking because of his actions. Came all the suffering. And that is all something I have to carry. And not anymore, because with his failure, it'll be something he has to carry. We're two fools sharing a burden by throwing it back and forth. Once I throw Blondie my burden, I'm going to be executed, so there won't be any pain for me to worry about. I mean, right up until then, they do torture you for an extended period because they got to get the right amount of suffering in your brain so the disgusting fucking president of the church can eat your disgusting human suffering brain. And I remember Elite Mummy God putting me in contact with the Fundy's leader because he's in prison. They put me in contact with his lawyer. And his lawyer was like, I'm not a good person, and I'm actually marching you to your death. And he was like, if it makes you feel any better, I agree with everything you did. And I was absolutely disgusted when I found out that Danielle poisoned you with heavy metals till you were retarded. And he was like, it was the saddest day of my life, in fact. He's like, I couldn't believe what he did. And how much he didn't care. And then he only started to care when he started talking to women in the church and found out how horrible and disgusting he is. But this ain't that. And if I could say anything to anyone, you guys love murdering and threatening people so much. Find a lawyer, anally rape him, waterboard him like you did me, and then threaten to shoot him in the head, and then tell him if he has to represent me or you'll fucking kill him, and then you guys can kill him after he represents me. You're not gonna, because you hate doing the right thing. Because when somebody says doing the right thing, it makes you feel bad. And Elite Mummy God kind of left me, I don't know why he did this, but in my head, he left me a whole bunch of pointers on being a leader. And basically a thesaurus of every mistake I make, from black and white thinking, overgeneralization, jumping to conclusions, to assuming everybody just wants to hurt me, and dude, he went on a thing talking about when Blondie, there was an entire part, Blondie was trying to put me in prison, and I was convinced he was just being a piece of shit, but apparently that was his way of helping me. Trying to put me in prison was his way of helping me. Yeah. I don't give a shit, because once again, I believe that with Blondie, this is all glory-seeking. With me, it is the past regret of the horror that was caused, but I am not going to hand that to Blondie. No, sir. I can't. I can't, in good conscience, hand that to Blondie. Can't do it. Can't. I'm tired. The entire time, the past 2 years, I've been at war with myself. Every time I tried to go call in a bomb threat and punch an officer, I broke down. My body wouldn't move. I'd seize up. I'd have PTSD attacks, trauma attacks, and all the horrible shit because they fucked me up. I never experienced anything like the things I experienced down here. It is like a nightmare. And everybody took what was wrong with me like a joke. And I guess the joke has to come full circle. And it's going to come full circle. And I hope everybody's ready to be miserable forever because everybody was willing to not help me. And if I could, I always think about it. If I wrote all this down in a book, what would I call it? I originally wanted to call it A Walk Through Hell. And then I wanted to call it perjury. But now I think about it. This is what happens when you refuse to help good people. So if you ever come across somebody that needs help, just help them. Don't think too much about it. Don't go self-interest. Don't go I only care about myself. Don't go what's in it for me. Here's what's in it for you. Karma. Okay? You're going to help that guy, and because you help that guy, you'll win the lottery. Okay? You're going to help that guy, and because you helped that guy, some 300,000 women just got out of human trafficking, out of human sex trafficking, are going to come to your house, and they're going to love you. Okay? And they're going to give you things, amazing things. They're going to perform sexual activities you never experienced because you helped him. Okay? You're gonna get that 300,000 people. Okay? You're gonna get all those women, you're gonna get all that money, and because you helped that guy, and he became great, he's gonna take you to the top with him, and you're gonna be great also. Okay, so by representing me in court, you too can become a great person. Isn't that wonderful? Don't worry about the whole under the threat of death stuff. But that is a fantasy, because everybody has made their decisions, including myself. I look forward to seeing you in court. I remember good old Fundy Leader actually gave me pointers already on the witness stand and what to say. I look forward to ruining you, Blondie, the same way you ruined me. Anything else? No. No, I don't think so. The whole telepathic thing was pretty funny, though. I gotta admit, you guys have a real sense of humor about that. That one really cracked me up. I'm not even gonna lie. I legitimately, with my cracking, broken psychology, I'm so glad that you jokesters managed to do something completely fucking hilarious. It does make me happy, legitimately. There's a thing I told Anal Eating Mummy God. I told him there's only 2 ways of fixing this situation. To actually let a good person do the right thing. And show people that doing the right thing matters. Or by making everything so horrible that the U.S. government is forced to intervene and change the laws so they can intervene. And I believe by putting the fundamentalist leader out of prison, and I remember Anal Eating Mummy God, the guy has like 300 wives or something. He literally let me talk to each of his wives who were screaming and begging me not to let him out, that he is a monster unlike any other member of this church. He's the most disgusting, vile creature. And they just went on and on and on and on. And I felt really bad for him. I really did. But to quote this church, suffering is good for you. It's good for you. You guys been saying it to me all along. Isn't it amazing to hear your own words said back to you? You know, people have done that to me my entire life, and I always thought to myself, they lack creativity, because I would never say the same words back to you. But here I am, saying it. Suffering is good for you. And of all the things I've always wondered about what it actually takes to take a good person and make them so cynical, dark, and evil. Yeah. And it's as simple as just ignore them when they ask for help. Just keep hurting them whenever they say something. And then call them virtue signalers, call them weak. Tell them that they're all these things and just keep treating them like shit. Okay? Take their family from them. Take their support system, that's their family. The people who are supposed to love and support them and encourage them to do the right thing. Take everything from them. And then just keep punching them in the face and screaming you're the victims in it. Put them under a contract that cuts them off from the legal system. Force them into the darkest part they could possibly go to. And then tell them, you're going to get psychological help from yourself, who's extremely mentally ill. We're going to show you Carl Jung, whose psychology is subpar, and the whole integrating the shadow self, which kind of exists but not really. One of the funnier things Carl Jung talks about that caught my attention, that is pseudoscience, is everybody has a psychopathic need for killing. And I remember Blondie explaining to me that's why all the church leaders are so important and it's okay for them to murder because it's just part of human nature. It's just normal for you to want to murder. But in the Carl Jung stuff, it explains that the importance of not murdering because of the moral choices you make. Your own internal integrity is the reason why you don't do that. Which Blondie doesn't have. Neither does any of these church leaders. The only peace I have in life is the fact that my failures are not my own. They're because other people constantly feel the disgusting need to test me for no reason, they have no real business, but by asking me to do something I simply can't do and then I fail. But I realize the issue is I tell them, everything a person does is reflective of that person. What's that mean? If I fail the task, then I'm a failure, regardless of how unfair and unjust the task was. You see, if you lived in a world where my logic applied, where everything a person does is who they are, Blondie would just be a piece of shit who murdered Carolina Herrera. And he'd be in prison for it. Where he belongs. Okay. And he's not going to go to prison. And no, he's not going to take accountability and turn himself in for homicide. Because that's who he is. Because he's the victim of his own stupid religion. Well, I hope everybody's ready for disappointment. Not like I have anything else going on in my life.